Okay, today we're going to be dealing on trend lines. I shared my screen. I hope you guys are seeing my screen. So trend line are essential tools with technical analysis used to determine the direction of the market. If the market is uptrend or a down trend, they use this trend line to know when to enter into the market, to exit the market, or to know if the market is in continuation. So in markets we have type of trend lines. Market can either be uptrend or downtrend or in a ranging market. So what are uptrend? Uptrend has to do with higher lows, then while we have a low trend has to do with lower highs. So that's the difference. So uptrend is when the price is going up, then downtrend is when the price is going down. So I'm going to be showing you an example of this trend. So let's see how I can get an example. For example, this is a pop card as a crypto. So let's see. Okay, yeah, I think we'll find one. This is a daily chart. So if you can see, the price is coming down here. Price is coming down here. So in drawing a trend line, you use either the trend line touching the wicks of the candles, or the body. So you can use any of them for you, either the trend line touching the wicks of the candles or the bodies of the candle. But for me, I use mainly the wicks. I prefer using the wicks, that the candles trend line should touch the candle wicks. So example, so there's a trend line from here, touches these wicks. Yeah, look for another wicks again that is going to touch again, just like this. So there's another wick, just like that. This is a downtrend. This is a down. So if you can look at it very well, the prices are, the trend line is touching the wicks, not the body. So you can see touching the wicks, touching the wicks. You can see the wicks of the candle. Why some persons prefer their trend line touching the body, but me, I prefer, you use this example when they use the body. Prefer the candle, the trend line touching the body. So that looks like this for them. Yeah, but me, I don't like this. I prefer touching the wicks. It gives me more accuracy and able to draw my trend line perfectly well. Perfectly well. So take note. This is a lower trend. So from lower wicks touching lower wicks, lower wicks. So let's take for example, if I have a car of a GLA car, I have a GLA car. Then later I went to go and buy Benz C300. What happened? I've gone from an higher price towards a lower price. So if I'm to draw a trend line on that prices, so it means my trend line will be coming from up, which is the GLK, the Benz GLK, downwards to the Benz C300. So this is what I'm trying to do. So the price coming up, from up then down. So you can see, so it's telling that the direction of this market is what, down trend. So you can see, so the price is going down, down, just like that. So that's what happened. So you see the price coming down. So that's a downtrend. So let's look for example of an uptrend. Get an uptrend. Let's see. Get an uptrend. Let's see. You can see, yeah. So this is an uptrend. You can see. It's okay. This is a recent one. Let's draw this one. So this is a trend. Let's use this one for example. This will be a trend. So draw it from the wick, this wick here, up to touch this other wick of this candle. You can see, so just like that. So mine has to touch the wicks of the candle. So you can see when the price was coming and it touched the support. So you can see the price was coming and touched that support line, then bounced back up, then came back to touch the trend line, then went up again. So these are GBP USD charts, a daily time frame. So I'm predicting that when the market opens on Monday, that the price is going to touch this support on this trend line. So that's my prediction. It's going to touch them before bouncing back or coming down again. My prediction is going to go up, and the price is going to go up. So this is our trend line. It tells you the direction of the market. So this is just an example. Price coming from from a low price, then the price is going up, touching the what wicks of this candle. So these are higher lows, higher lows. So these are higher lows. So, for example, I have a pen C300, and later I want to come buy JK. That's to say, my trend line will be moving from my C300 up to my to my JK. So it's just a higher price. So that's to say, the trend of which I'm buying the car is what higher trend. I'm buying it in what in an upper trend with higher prices. So that's the meaning. So that's what it just means. So make sure. So your trend line is more efficient. It's more efficient when it touches 3 or more weeks. So you can see the lowest your trend line should touch is 2 weeks. 2 weeks. Touch 2 weeks of the candle. But to be more efficient, if it touches more than two, like this one I've drawn, I just touched two, the first and the second. But it will be more efficient if it touches more than two, 3 or more. Give you more, give to tell you how powerful, how strong the trend is when it touches more than two. Then also, the accuracy of your trend line determines on the time frame you are using. So you can't just go and so if you're using a higher time frame, it gives more accuracy on the trend. So it gives more accuracy on the trend. So it gives you more direction of the trend. So that's it. So that is how trend lines as easy as that to draw. Then also in getting more advanced now, I'm still going to do a video on how we can use trend line to trade and how we can use other indicators with our trend line. So if you look at this trend line, I don't know this number. When I'm going more deep on this trend line, this is just a beginner class. I'm going to show you how we can relate this trend line to trade, to enter into the market or to exit the market. Because sometimes we have false breakouts from this trend line, so you have to know and check out some indicators that you can use to add to these trend lines. Thank you.